Greetings, YouTube friends. It's Joyce from Moore's Patch of Heaven Homestead, and today we are in the kitchen making molasses cookies. Okay guys, we are going to make molasses cookies. It's rainy outside and we love to bake when it's raining. And one of our family's favorite cookies is the molasses cookies. It makes the whole house smell like fall with all these yummy spices in it. So you are in for a treat because as far as I'm concerned, these are the best molasses cookies. They are chewy and gooey. We use blackstrap molasses. Some use a lighter molasses, but we absolutely love the blackstrap. It makes them so dark, almost kind of like the Amish make them. The first time we ever saw them was at one of the Amish markets, and I realized that they use the blackstrap molasses versus regular molasses. So that's what I've been using ever since, and it is amazing. Okay, we're going to get started. It calls for a cup of brown sugar. It's half brown and half cane crystals because I ran out, so I'm going to improvise. And I've done that before, and it's fine. And then 3/4 cup of shortening. This particular recipe asks for coconut oil, which you end up not tasting. You know, some people are like, oh no, you're going to end up tasting like coconut. It does not. Because it is a little bit colder in the house, it has solidified. Usually my coconut oil is like a liquid, but it's getting a little bit chillier here in the Midwest. It actually is starting to feel like fall. We weren't quite ready for it yet, but it's here. I think on Friday we are going to get our first frost. Not looking forward to that because it looks like we need to get out in the garden and get those sweet potatoes up and pull up the rest of the okra and the tomatoes. Okay, so 3/4 cup of shortening and 1/4 cup of molasses. And the way I do my molasses, you'll probably laugh, but I pour and then I just pour over like that. I love molasses, so I always pour more than what it asks for. Molasses is so good for you guys. I'm going to give you the benefits, the health benefits, and what molasses is here in a little bit. I wrote it all down. I want to make sure I get it all correct when I give it to you. Okay, 1 egg. It's a very simple recipe. One you are going to want to make, and one you will probably make forever. If you are a molasses fan like we are, this is definitely the cookie for you. 2 1/4 cups of flour. We use an organic flour on our homestead. Non-GMO. 2 1/4 cup. Good at eyeballing. Okay, and then 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Oops, if I fill that one all the way. Okay. 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and now we start with all of our seasonings, or I should say spices, not seasonings. Okay. Cinnamon. And you know, I think that all of these seasonings just make, and I always throw a little bit more than what it calls for. That's just how I bake. I love the spices, so I just add extra. Cinnamon, teaspoon of ginger. Looks like we are just about out of ginger. I think we're going to have just exactly, a teaspoon of that as I spill it all over. We use a lot of ginger on our homestead. We love it in our adrenal drinks that I showed you about. It's so good. Okay, let's see here. A 1/2 teaspoon of cloves. We grind up our own. It is so amazing. I buy the whole cloves and I grind them up in a coffee grinder. Oh my word. That way it just is fresher, because we've gotten where they have not been so fresh. And then I stick all of my spices and seasonings in the freezer. I keep them in the freezer because it keeps them fresh. Okay, let's see Cloves, ginger. Okay, that's it, and we are now going to blend that all together and start making our cookies. I'm thinking that my egg was probably really, really small. I might add another egg. Sometimes that happens. We have some new layers, and so our eggs are really tiny. So our eggs are really tiny, so sometimes I need to add, well, no, I think it'll be fine. I'm going to show you what that looks like when it's all blended together. Just amazing. Sometimes when the eggs are a little bit smaller, I'll add 2 instead of 1. You can just play around with it and see what works for you. Okay, so what we're going to do now that we've got this yummy dough, is we make balls, round balls, like so, and then we roll them in sugar. Just like that, and then we're going to stick it on our cookie sheet, and I'm going to do that with all of them, and then I'm going to bring you back after they've baked, and I will show you the finished product. But so for the rest of them, I'm just going to roll them like this, each and every one of them, and you won't believe how beautiful they will be. And they're all cracked and stuff, and just absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to finish these up, and I will be back in a minute. Okay guys, I've got one plate ready. I wanted to show them to you. They come out so beautiful and crinkly. You can make them bigger if you prefer. We kind of like just a smaller cookie because that's like a perfect cookie for us to eat. But yeah, you can make them as big as you'd like. They are absolutely delicious. I already tried one. The coconut oil, you cannot even taste. And you know, think about the benefits that you're getting. You're getting the coconut oil, and you're getting the blackstrap molasses in there, which is so, so good for you. I want to give you some of the benefits. I wrote them down because I know, like I am, I will just forget the benefits. So I just wanted to tell you what they're good for. It's good for to help with your blood pressure. PMS, it's good for like anybody who has inflammation. My husband likes to put molasses on his oatmeal. I don't really like the taste of molasses other than having them in cookies, but what better way than to stick them in a cookie and get your benefits that way. It's also good for, promotes good mood. So if you want to be in a good mood, have a molasses cookie by all means. It balances your blood sugar as well, which is amazing to think that molasses can balance your blood sugar, but it's loaded with things like protein and iron and manganese and magnesium. It's got potassium and B6 in it. It is just, and calcium and copper. It's just amazing what all is in blackstrap molasses. And I'm not saying that that's going to be in every kind of molasses. It has to be blackstrap. So the darker the better, because this has been run 3 times. What they do is when they're pulling it from, it comes from the sugar cane. When they pull it from the sugar cane, it goes through this process. It becomes a syrup, and then they do that 2 other times so that it becomes really dark and almost burnt. But that's where the benefits come from, is by having them run it 3 times. I don't think they do that with regular molasses, but with the blackstrap molasses, guys, and it's not expensive either. We get ours at our little Mennonite store, and I think that this whole thing is maybe $3 or $4, and it lasts a really long time. So now you can see why I stick so much of it in our cookies, to make them darker. And you can add more or less to your taste, but you know what? You really can't taste it. They are so delicious. I have to tell you a little story. When our oldest daughter was, just young, our kids are real entrepreneurs on, doing some kind of business, making money. Well, she was making molasses cookies for our family quite often, and people would taste them and they absolutely loved them. So she started a little business and was going around our square with little bags of homemade molasses cookies in a basket and selling them. People absolutely love them, and she'd stack them up real cute and have a little tie on them. And I think she was selling them even back then for maybe $3 a dozen, maybe a little bit more. I can't remember, but yes, this is a cookie that is a favorite of our families that we've been doing for many years. So I hope you guys will give it a try. I will have the recipe down below for you, so that you can try it. Let me know what you think. And also, start using molasses. It's so, so good for you, good for your health. But anyway, if you like what you saw, tell a friend. Help grow our channel. Press that like button and ring the bell so that you'll be notified as to when we do another video. And until next time, guys, God bless you.